Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode. Oh, it's been a while. Excuse my camera. I basically was too lazy to put up the full green screen, so I couldn't use the good camera, or else it would show more than the background. But I'm here, which is really what matters, and I'm happy to be here. It's been like a month since I last streamed. Things have been busy with work and stuff, but didn't have any plans for tonight, so figured it would be appropriate. So yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and turn on the bell notification so you can know when I go live. But we're gonna get into everything that's been happening over the past couple of weeks, months since I last streamed, and keep you guys up to date. So should be a good one. What's going on in the chat? Prem Pandaya. What's up? Mr. Chuck. Hey, Mr. Chuck. Hope you've been doing well. All the efforts you put in during the bear will pay off during the 2024-2025 bull run top. Yeah, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well, and I think you're right. And Jason Jannon says, Richard, why are you hiding? Hey, thought HEX was better than Bitcoin. 50x down. Oh. But you get dividend on that less than 1 cent HEX. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all that. Ash, what's going on, Ash? Oh, glad you can make it on such short notice. Good to see you too. And hope you're doing well. Moonmut, what's going on, Moonmut? 23 people watching. It's pretty good. Not like the old days, but I'll take it. It's a bloodbath out there. A little bit. Cryptographer, what's going on? Is that the no, it's not Pascal, but what's up? JC Culver, MD, Happy New Year, watching from Puerto Rico. Well, Happy New Year to you as well. And glad you could tune in from so far on such short notice. Cyclone Craw X, glad to see you back. Glad to see you too. Juan Juanini, hello there. What's up, Juan Juanini? Casey Campos, what's up? Nice to see you. Some new people. I guess the community is growing despite the bearish price action in the bear market, which is good. And nice to see everyone. So yeah, I guess we could just start off by looking at the charts while everyone comes in, and then we can get into the news and stuff like that. So HEX chart is set about a penny. It's seemed to dump on that relief rally, but it has been holding above that capitulation that happened when the SEC news broke out, which is nice. Okay, which is nice, which is healthy. We're still in a bear market, and generally, what happens during bear markets or at the tail end of bear markets is Bitcoin starts to run and the alts are sideways and maybe catch a little bit of a pump when Bitcoin goes up. But Bitcoin runs against the alts, and that's what we're seeing. There are a few alts that are doing very, very well. I think the most prominent one is Solana, but it's rare. It's only really the ones that you hear of. Most of the alts out there are pretty much sideways, maybe up a little bit from their local low. So that's what's been happening. But it's nice to see that it's above the consolidation. We're still 3 months away from the Bitcoin halving, which is what really kicks off the bull market. And the way I see it is it's an accumulation period. It's really what it is. But yeah, that's really what's going on with the price. pumps are sort of short-lived and disappointing, as displayed here. Okay. And yeah, I mean, Pulse has been doing pretty well. It's down only 40% from the sack rate. So everybody that sacked their millions of dollars worth of HEX is not even down much. So I think one of the most promising things that we've seen in this bull market, in this bear market, is the relative strength of PLS. I know a lot of people sacrifice for a lot of other projects, and they're down like over 99%, unfortunately. But I'm very proud to not have shilled those projects, not have promoted any of them, and stuck to the three really. PulseX is down like 80, but it's not quite like the other projects out there. And also there's sufficient liquidity. There's sufficient liquidity in HEX, PLS, and PLSX. The other ones raised millions of dollars and only put up like $50,000 of liquidity or something, which is a little bit outrageous, honestly. So that's really what's going on. What else is there really to show? Bitcoin's at like 42,000, which is pretty good, pretty much as expected. So that's cool. Let's look at HEX daily stats. HEX daily stats. Okay. Current holders has been increasing significantly still, which is really good. With the exception of a few days, like one or two in every 10, there's a net decrease in current holders. So the network's growing. But obviously the changing current stakers is actually shrinking, seemingly, which is, well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely not growing as significantly as it was 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think a lot of people are in that state of disbelief, and they don't want to buy in for 15 years or 10 years or 5 years, which is fine. That's really what happens when there's negative price action. When the price is at its highest, people are staking the most and for the longest. And when the price is at its lowest, people have less of a tendency to stake. But I think the smart thing to do would be to go against what the broader markets are doing and buy in now and lock in the lowest T-share rate, the highest T-share rate possible right now, because it's locking in the lowest T-share rate possible because it's only getting higher. So you can get the most T-shares possible now for your HEX. So if it's sitting there liquid, I think it's better to stake now, in my opinion. Not financial advice, than later, but that's typically what happens. It's no surprise. And probably when people shouldn't be staking for 15 years, you're going to see those people, buying massive amounts and throwing it out there. That's just the nature of the beast. So that was interesting. There's also GoPulse.com. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Everything's down. INC, 59 cents. I call the INC top on the day or the day after when it was at like $70 or something. Saying I'm not going to buy into that, and it's a good call. But if you bought PulseX then, you'd also be down, albeit not as much. So yeah, that's your GoPulse.com numbers. But yeah, that's it for really the numbers there. Hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification. What's going on in the chat? Let's take a look. 37 people watching. Not bad. Brandon Tyndall. What's up? Hex has no bear? Really? If you have t-shirts. I hear what you're saying, but market cap of PulseChain at 125x would be 1 trillion. Yeah. EHEX looks nice. Hey, I'm not a proponent of EHEX, but do what you want. Do what you feel is best. And Chad Donnerschwanz, long time no see. Good to see you, man. Hope all's well with you. Stefan also. A lot of old friends. Nice to see you guys. I know it was a short notice. Akuma Takashi says SAC was a bad idea. It screwed the possibility for face melting gains like HEX. Why? I don't agree with that. I'm not sure why you're saying that. Sounds like bear market sentiment. T-shares are key. Now is literally the best time for this price. Pokalooz, nice to see you. I don't know if I'm gonna get a Lambo, but I'll get something. It'll probably be like dark blue or maybe gray. I'm not getting like a light green or orange colored car. Hex on PulseChain will melt faces. True. Good to see you too. You back for good? I never left. I just got a job, so I can't stream every day at 12, but I do want to stream. I do want to stream when I can. Hopefully more frequently, maybe once a week. What's really difficult about streaming is it's not actual streaming. It's that you have to make a thumbnail and you have to take a picture of yourself, and then you have to make gradients and background removers and all that stuff. It's just so annoying. Maybe if someone would make me thumbnails, I could stream more frequently. But also, it's a bear market, so the news and the chart moves slowly. So it is appropriate. It's not as appropriate to stream daily. I mean, there's only so much you can really talk about on a daily basis, but there are people out there that are streaming very frequently. What's his name? Westcott. Even our friend Crypto 7 is on pretty regularly, and many others. So there's much content to be consumed. I know the Hexologist started streaming again, which is good. And there's also Crypto Coffee's doing his thing. Everyone's doing their thing. So it's really good. But it's funny because I was saying, like, why hasn't this person streamed in a while and those sort of things when I was streaming on the regular. And then once you're working full time, not in crypto, you kind of understand, you get back from work at like 7:30 and you're wiped, and not the easiest thing to do. Weekends are good. I still do my Patreon meeting every Sunday, which is good. But yeah, streaming, not the easiest thing to do when you're working full time. It's a lot of dedication, and I appreciate everyone that's making time to do it despite their busy life. Back in the mix. What's up, Murda Yoga 10? Pulse is going a lot. New OG Hexagons know that some of the EHEX OGs are so I don't want to get too into that EHEX PX thing, but the ratios are still about 2-to-1, and there's no liquidity on Ethereum. So, I mean, I think I made the right decision, and I think risk reward, it's the right decision moving forward. But I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. So do your own research, okay? Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. That's the thing about a community. There's many different opinions. So yeah, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As far as like the macros, I was reading the Wall Street Journal this morning, and they're all talking about how the analysts all got it wrong. And despite the like interest rates being like at 20-year highs The S&P 500 is at all-time highs. And inflation is going down. And 2023 was a great year for stocks, and even Bitcoin and Ethereum. Great, even better year for Bitcoin and Ethereum than, like, for example, the S&P 500. And I think I nailed that, because I said that elevated inflation is not sustainable, right? Because when prices go up, spending goes down, the velocity of money goes down, so inflation goes down. And that's why we're under 3% now. So there's that. And also, interest rates are not a good indicator. Interest rates are not something that you can rely on to trade or to predict markets, because even though the interest rates are at all-time highs, there is the prospect of, lowering inflation rates, and the market is smarter than you, and the market prices that in before you do. So even though interest rates haven't even been lowered once, and it's questionable whether they're going to raise them again, everybody's already saying, look, inflation's going down, interest rates will be lowered, and they're investing accordingly. And stocks have been going up like crazy. I mean, that's how it works. So if you waited for the lowering of interest rates, if you waited for Jerome Powell to get up on the podium and say, it looks like inflation has calmed down and we've reached a soft landing, we're going to take the rates down, and you thought that you were going to invest at a good time, you're wrong, because that's S&P 500 is already at all-time highs and Bitcoin's already at like 42,000. But lucky for you, HEX is still down. So even if you're putting in money now, it's still an ideal time. And it's still, I think 2024 is going to be a very bullish year. Even if they don't lower interest rates once, everyone knows that it's going down, if not 2024 and 2025. So I did nail that. I did want HEX to be, I did have a stream before the SEC news dropped. So like in September, was it September or was late August? I did think that, because of the anticipation of the bull market with the Bitcoin halving, the price of HEX was at like 2 cents. I did expect it to move higher. I did expect it to be higher now than it actually is. But obviously the SEC thing sort of threw a wrench in the system. So that didn't happen. It's still a lot higher than it was, 2x higher than it was, at its local low. But it's not as high as I wanted it to be, and that's fine. If you look at the rest of the altcoins, they're all also not doing particularly well. The cause for concern would be if everything else is taking off, like we're in this euphoric thing, and Pulse isn't moving and HEX isn't moving. So like that would be very concerning, and that would come into question whether or not you should hang up the cleats. But that's not the case. I mean, this is what happens. The Bitcoin dominance goes up, and Bitcoin goes up considerably relative to the rest of the crypto markets, and then that money sort of siphons into the altcoins. Now there's a lot of money in crypto, and now it could go elsewhere, and there's low liquidity, and the prices go flying. And I think that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm expecting. So that's really what it is. I mean, in short, it's an accumulation time. And for everybody sort of thinks that crypto is this get rich quick thing. And for very few people, it is. But it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of research and a lot of risk. And that's what we're experiencing. And nothing's a guarantee, but this is the sort of mentality that you have to have when you're entering it. You can't think that I'm putting my money in 6 months, I'm going to get rich because some influencer, someone on the internet said they got rich off something else some other time. And that's what it is. And you shouldn't be investing more than you could afford to lose. You should invest responsibly. And nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Go do your own research, okay? You guys know the drill. But hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. What's going on in the chat? We have who do we have? We got Metastaying in there. Metastaying's a patron. Big shout out to you. Thank you for your support. What's going on? I hope you're in the meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. People saying alt meme coin season is already over. Who's saying that? Nobody serious is saying that. Everyone knows it's not even started. Making bankrolling HEX on PulseChain. Cheat fees help you and others. Yes, the cheat fees are going to be. That's the thing. People are forgetting narratives. I retweeted this crypto coffee thing. Let me go show it to you guys. Let's take a look. Okay. Cheap fees. So if we look here, the PulseChain is 5,303 times cheaper than Ethereum. It's 69,317x cheaper than Bitcoin. But then, like, what about the other blockchains that market themselves as Ethereum killers and cheaper than Ethereum and faster, whatever? It's 142x cheaper than Avalanche, which did pretty well. 130x cheaper than Binance Smart Chain, which did very well. 71x than Zcash. 41x cheaper than Polygon. Polygon was one of the most prominent cryptos in the last bull market, and it's had a very sustainable run despite all the VC money in it and all those other things. So I mean, just look at that. And when right now I tried bridging from Ethereum and I had to spend like $20, and if you swap, it's probably like 60 or 70, which means when the bull market comes, Ethereum is probably going to be like $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 to transact, to use Uniswap and all those kinds of things. And where are people going to go? I mean, people could go to places like Avalanche and Binance Smart Chain, where it's more expensive, or they can go to PulseChain, where it's cheaper and they have all their coins there. So it's important not to forget that. I mean, the system state copy is a very important narrative. It's a very important thing that PulseChain does. And a lot of people remember that when the HEX price was at all-time highs and they sacrificed. But now that the HEX price is down and PulseChain is out and hasn't gone crazy yet because we're still in a bear market, everyone's sort of forgotten that. Like, that is very important, and it is a reason to buy PulseChain. And PulseChain and HEX, if one moves, the other moves. We know Hart's law. So that's another reason to remain optimistic. Yeah, the cheap fees are huge, and Ethereum is expensive despite being in a bear market. I think last bear market, it was like, I don't know, $2-3. Now it's like $30. So yeah, it's very important, and it's very good, and I'm very bullish. So yeah, big shout out to Owl Pacino. What's up, Isaac Montoya? Still alive? Okay, we don't have to read your next comment. I'm not going there. Okay, I'll just say I'm not going there. As I'm not quite so bullish on that as with all the other non-RH products on PulseChain. So yeah. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, there's the SEC case, which I've been monitoring very closely. Where is it? Here. Courtlistener.com. All the documentations. So originally they're supposed to have that pre-trial on November 28th or something. November 28th, 2023 at 10 a.m. But they couldn't serve him. So they pushed it off. And if we look at November 21st, it's a scheduling order. The initial conference previously scheduled for November 28th, 2023 is adjourned to January 30th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. in Quorum 11C. So now we're looking at January 30th. So it was November 28th, and now it's January 30th. So a lot of people are wondering, like we had the comment earlier that Richard Hart is hiding. I don't know what he's doing, but I do know that now they're actually trying to service him through alternative means of servicing, but he didn't get served. And therefore there were an extra 2 months. So I don't know. I'm not a legal advisor. I'm not so familiar with the law in the way that, and especially in this particular situation. But it was speculated that Richard Hart was trying not to get served so he can buy time and establish precedent in order to get a good case. So, which could either have him win the trial or get a good settlement and not even have to go to trial. And we know there are a lot of ongoing court cases with SEC and crypto crypto companies or just crypto projects, whatever it is. So people like to say that HEX is not going to do well because of the SEC lawsuit. But at this point, if you're not being sued by the SEC, I mean, you're probably not working in crypto. Coinbase, Binance, CZ had to step down as CEO because of the SEC and pay a huge fine. I mean, it's really happening to everyone. And Richard Hart is not the exception. He's the rule. There have been a lot of, and obviously Ripple. So there have been a lot of ongoing court cases for crypto. And there have been a lot of rulings. And the rulings have been favorable. So he has bought time and he has established more of a precedent. The longer it takes to go to court, to go to trial or whatever, the more rulings there are, and rulings have been favorable. So it's kind of seems like it's working out positively, I'd say. I mean, look at the Ripple court case and others. It seems like there is good precedent now. But I don't know. Not a legal advisor. Not legal advice. Do your own research. But that was interesting. He also did a stream, which is one of the reasons why I had to do a stream. And he seems very, very familiar with the law. Like for someone who's not a lawyer, he seemed to know a lot about it, and he seemed to have brought good. He seemed to have brought up like legitimate legal grievances with SEC that can be very effective in a trial or a pretrial. So at this point, he didn't stream. He released a video, and unlike the last video he released, he really did address the SEC and crypto pretty head on, and he really talked very much in depth about his projects, which was really good. But the stream that he did show that he's very cognizant of the law, and he's very well aware of what he's doing. A lot of people thought like he was just running away, and no, I mean, that wasn't the message I got. Also, it reinstated a lot of confidence in his dedication to these projects. So even though he can't stream like every week or twice a week like he did, he is still here. He's still working on it, and he very much wants it to do very well. So that's all really good stuff. Okay, I mean, everything, all the pieces are sort of being put into place for very good price action when crypto picks up, which I believe will be shortly, and there's every reason to believe that. So yeah, that was some really good news. I really liked the stream. It was very nostalgic. It was very it was very reminiscent of a past him, and I think it's very indicative of future him. So that was really good. And I know that they did in one of the in one of the filings, it did say that they serviced him through like a local police station. Let's see. Is it this one, or was it document? Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commission, filed this notice of service pursuant to Rule 4F, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Richard Schuler and his alter ego entities. Oh my gosh, that's funny. HEX PulseChain PulseX were served on October 31st, 2023, in accordance with Finnish law, blah, blah, blah. And that was through a local police precinct or something. So it be. Okay, we don't have to show that. Multiple attempts of contacting Mr. Schuler using different methods over a period lasting nearly 7 weeks have given ample time for response from Mr. Schuler. As this is a civil matter and service is to be performed in accordance with domestic Finnish legislation, it is a decision of this process server that these documents shall be served through the method of substitute service in accordance with Finnish Code of Judicial Procedure. Notice of service will be sent to Mr. Schuler's address. The documents will be served, and the documents to be served will be deposited at the Helsinki police station, where they will remain available for pickup for 21 days from the date of service, October 31st. So they did serve him through alternative means of service. The question is whether the judge, Peggy Quo, agrees that that's a legitimate service. I don't know, but I don't think that when there's $1.5 billion involved, you can just sort of get your way out of it by not being served. I mean, maybe if it's something small, if it's something negligible, they'll just drop it if they don't really like the charges. But this is the Securities and Exchange Commission, and there's a lot of money here that was involved in the sacrifice. So I'd imagine that it goes to court. It's very likely that it'll go to court, and it's only really a matter of time. But I think that it's very positive. I think that the SEC lawsuit is very, very positive for the HEX price. Look at the downside of an SEC lawsuit. There's delisting from major exchanges. And in the case of the cryptos that we're involved in, they're not listed on major exchanges. They're only really available on decentralized exchanges. So there's no bearish price action from that. And there's the bad news, which has already been priced in. So I think your risk is to the upside. Also, the SEC has taken a very adversarial role against crypto. I think the opinions of pretty much everyone in crypto regarding the SEC are very negative. So Richard Hart sort of presenting himself as a victim of the SEC can be very favorable to the broader crypto community, and it can draw a lot of attention in the news, which will lead to positive price action. So I'm kind of at the point where I'm thinking that the SEC thing is more bullish than bearish. I mean, at this point, maybe you can say when the news dropped, the net effect is more bearish. I mean, as of now it is, but I think in the long run, I think it's going to be very price positive. I think they're going to get a very good ruling, and I think it's very good marketing. You couldn't have asked for better marketing, as a matter of fact. You look at all the major crypto news aggregators, they're all talking about it. So what happens when they talk about it? Are people going to sell? No, because it's already been priced in. Anyone that would have sold on those news already sold and is out. I mean, there's only really buying from here. There's only really buying from here with regard to the SEC news. It can't be bad. It can't be bad at this point. It was bad back then, but at this point, it could only be outrage marketing. Okay, so that's the take on the SEC thing. Is there anything else that's really been going on? There's been a lot of stuff going on Twitter, which we don't really have to talk about. Yeah, I haven't been so active on Twitter, but I've seen some people posting some interesting things. But yeah, that's Twitter, and that's bear markets. So
I guess from here on in, we're just going to look at your comments. I can talk for another 5 minutes, or I can talk for another 30 minutes. So if you have any questions or anything that you want me to talk about, just drop it there. I appreciate you guys all joining on such short notice, and I'm just happy to be here. Sorry for the bad camera quality, but I couldn't put up the full green screen. So what's going on in the chat? We're going to go back a little bit so we can get all your comments. Iceman says Richard Hart was right. Ash says ETF stuff, I believe, in month of January. ETF is already priced in. I don't think the ETF is going to do anything with the bullish price action. I think it's just the cyclical nature, and I think it's the Bitcoin halvening. I think that's really what it comes down to. But if the ETF happens to coincide with that, then fine. But I mean, everybody knows about the ETF. Everyone knows that the ETF is happening. BlackRock is talking about the ETF. So it's very bullish because it gives a lot of access to crypto from very wealthy people. It gives a lot of very wealthy people access, to crypto, to Bitcoin and stuff like that. So that's really good. But I think the news, it's over. It's over. If you think that you have a leg up trading bullish price action on Bitcoin ETF news, I got a bridge to sell you. But yeah. Then after SBF, like mid-March, mid-April, halving coming. Yeah, I think that's more like it. SBF is sort of the layman's perspective on Bitcoin. It's like, isn't that Sam Bankman-Fried thing? Isn't crypto that Sam Bankman-Fried thing? But I mean, if you're in crypto, there's a lot more to it. So yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, they left the papers at the local Helsinki police station. So now it just comes down to what the judge says. I think it's likely going to be a service, but I don't think it's such a bad thing. In fact, it may be a good thing. What's up, Spicy Loops? Another old friend. Nice to see you. Ash says, yeah, but could you have sold $1.5 billion worth? The slippage wouldn't probably have allowed that. My guess, after looking at the blockchain, is there's probably about 340 million of actual value. Not, you're talking about Bitcoin? Not sure exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, guys, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Are there any other comments I missed? If any other streamers are out there, you're welcome to hop on. Just post that you're there in the chat. Let's take a look at Richard Hart's Twitter also. You know who's been very active? Sami's been very active. Sami's always very active. He had his stream posted. It's a good stream. Let's look at Sami. He's built quite a following as well. He's not found in the search bar. I don't know why. Okay, here he is. How many followers? He's got 25K followers. Still following me. Let's go. I don't know. Well, he says the Bitcoin dominance is getting dangerously close to alt season mode. I could share that on the screen. Nice Ethereum rally in January would do the trick. ETH BTC history could repeat. History is just repeating itself. If you're in crypto long enough, you understand. I mean, that's really what it is. Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoins go down. Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up. Bitcoin crashes, everything crashes. Everyone thinks it's gone forever, and then it comes back. No reason why that would change. And given that, you know, the broader market has changed bullish, it's likely, you know, and there's no prospect of a recession that could really pull things down even further. That is likely what is going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, all you got to do is sit on your hands. No sacrifices, no trading, just dollar cost averaging responsibly and holding. That's what it comes down to. And praying. That can't hurt as well. So yeah, that's really what's going on. That's really what's going on. And we've been going for 41 minutes. So all right. I think I'm gonna watch football now. Good game tonight with the Lions Cowboys. So thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications because we're not streaming at the regular 12 p.m. time. It's just going to happen when it could happen. Hopefully it happens more frequently than less. But I do plan on continuing to come and chat with you guys. So be sure to turn on your bell notifications. And I will see you guys next time. Have a happy New Year's and enjoy the rest of your day. And what's up, Swordfish? Okay, nice to see you too. One of the original followers of this channel, so I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, 11K in Prey. It didn't happen. I didn't think 11K would happen, and it looks like I'm right. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a Great Depression. And okay, I'll see you guys next time. Turn on your bell notifications. Have a great New Year's, and until then, have a great rest of your week.